What's up, guys? We are back, and I'm looking at some more NBA plays today over on PrizePicks. We were able to cash the lone NBA play in yesterday's video and Freddie VanVleet over his PRA. Clear that line relatively easily, but we're looking to stay cashing in the NBA with some plays today, as well as some MLB plays also in today's video. You guys did the like goal yesterday, which is why we have 3 plays in today's video. If you want a third play tomorrow, be sure to leave a like on this video here. If we get to 175 likes, I'll drop a third play tomorrow also. Let's hop in and let's get to these plays. Before we do get to these plays, though, don't miss out on joining the DubClub. In the DubClub, you can join with a free trial available in my description right now. There's a 3-day free trial linked down there where you get access to all of my plays sent straight to your phone and access to the Discord. In the Discord, you get access to my correlation plays, my community chat, and my contributors' plays from Elo, Prop the Props, Email, and Asmies. These guys all post their own plays to the Discord, and they cash time and time again here. Asmies had yet another good day yesterday over in the DubClub. You also have access to my community chat to talk to me and other members about plays or whatever's going on. It's super easy to reach me. Just at me in the chat, and I can answer any questions that you have really pretty fast too about like your entry or anything that's really going on. But the correlation yesterday were amazing. We had a bunch of slips yesterday. We were able to cash this one out here, the Braves correlation slip. Paid out 18.5x if you had a power play. We're also one leg away from missing these here, but if you did flex, you were able to profit on those. Dustin May ruined a 3-slip night right there, which had been just insane profit there. The day before, we also cashed another entry too, by the way. The day before, we actually cashed this one out. Only posted 2 slips, one of which was able to bang. Damian Lillard was a reboot since he got injured, but this ended up paying out about a 7.5x if you were to power play that. So you get all those available over in the DubClub. You get my correlation slips here, which we absolutely have been crushing. My underdog streaks, my community chat to talk to me and other members. You get more plays from my contributors here, all 4 of these guys there. So Elo's a soccer guy, Prop the Props is an MLB guy, Emo's an NBA guy, and Asby's is an NBA, MLB, and PGA, and he crushes all 3 sports. All of that though, and I haven't even talked about my performance yet. We have over 90 units of profit in the NBA this year, over 140 units of profit between the NBA and the NHL. If you had $50 on each play, you'd be over $7,000 of profit. That is how much we are cashing over in the DubClub. So go ahead and join right now with that 2-day free trial. Or you could also join for the next month for only $15, which is $20 off of your first month. If you don't like the trial, by the way, you can just cancel it. But I recommend just joining for the next month because that way you get it $20 cheaper than it is at the end of the trial. But now with that all out of the way, let's get to these free plays. Make sure to play responsibly at your own risk. Leave a like on this video here and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. The most important thing though is have those notifications on that we get in before these lines get bumped or get removed. Let's get to these plays here. The first play I like on the PrizePicks board for tonight's slate is going to be over in the PRA category. That's because tonight I'm going to go with Kevin Porter over his PRA here. I was able to get him at 25.5. DubClub was able to get him at 25.5, but he's at 26.5 over on the PrizePicks board against Indy tonight. In this series, he's only been over in one game, which is the game where Wheeler got injured last game. The game we played first without Lillard, though, he only had 22 PRA, but I'll explain that in a second here. Porter's been pretty good this year, for the most part, at least lately, not overall this year, but in his last 10 games, he's over in 6 of his last 10. In these series, though, only over in 1 out of 4 games, but of course, Damian Lillard was out in this game here and got injured last game here against Indy. That resulted in him starting the second half and dropping 23 points with 6 assists and 5 rebounds. What I love is potential assists here. He had 14 potential assists in the game without Lillard there, and 11 last game where Lillard got injured. Very important things there. Also, he just happened to shoot not the greatest in that game there, only 2 for 7. Last game, though, he had 17 field goal attempts, shooting 9 for 17. What's also extremely important, though, is his minutes in these games. In this game, the first game without Lillard, he had 29 minutes. Last game, he played about 34 minutes. In games this year where he has at least 26 minutes played, he's been pretty good this year, over in about 64%. If you move this to games where he plays at least 28 minutes, he's over in 7 out of 8. If you bump that up to about 30 plus minutes, though, over in every single game this year. So I think with just how many minutes I'm expecting him to play today, he's already in a great spot. The matchup, he's been able to get it done in the past against the Pacers. Just this miss here with bad shooting. These games with Dame playing, of course, not seeing full minutes. Last game, he proved he could get this one done here. 23 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. I think that's a similar stat line that we could see today. Probably not as many points, but I'm expecting right around 10 or 11 rebounds and assists for him here. I think he should be able to get it done with the points too. He had great usage last game, expecting the high usage to be there for him in this game. Before I get to my next 2 plays in these videos, if you're not already on Epick, it is a new DFS app out there that is peer-to-peer. And this app is extremely unique. They have 2 modes here in 50-50 and tournament. More are expected to be coming to the app, as well as a UI upgrade. But what's so unique is that their lines do not change throughout the day. Like you see here that Giannis is at 28 points on the PrizePicks board, but he's at 26.5 over on Epick. How about our play for today's plays? You have Kevin Porter, who we had at 26.5 PRA. What is he on Epick? 23.5 PRA. That is a 3 PRA discount between PrizePicks and Epick. If you sign up using promo code DOMG, you get a 5% deposit match up to $1,000. Another super cool thing about this app too, though, is you can see that people have been able to profit by going 2 for 4 on their entry. Like this entry here, the first one here, the tournament one there at the top, was a $5 entry fee. He ended up winning $9 on that right there by only hitting 2 of his 4 plays. That's because the app is so unique in it being peer-to-peer. So this app is really, really awesome. Get it for yourself in my description. Make sure you use promo code DOMG. Make sure you use promo code DOMG for a 5% deposit match up to $1,000. Moving on to my next play, this time we're going to go over to the points category here because tonight I like Kawhi Leonard here. And it's really up to you what you want to take first points. I personally like going with the 19.5 point option on PrizePicks for the lower payout. But you could, of course, take him all the way up to like 23.5, 24.5, or even 25.5 points. But I think he's in a great spot to drop at least 20 points in this game against Denver tonight. So Kawhi Leonard, though, has had at least 20 points in 68% of games this year, but in his last 20, he's over in 19 straight games, as you can see here. In the playoffs so far, he's been pretty damn good, as you can see. In his 4 games, he's had 22, 39, 21, and 24 points in those games there. That also comes on some mixed shooting for the most part, between games shooting 79% and games shooting 41%. So really, regardless of his shooting percentage, he has still covered this in 19 straight games. I think with being a 1-point spread and, of course, a playoff game, I think he should be pretty aggressive in this game and drop at least 20 points like he has done so far, and in 19 straight games. I mean, you can kind of see just why I like this one so much, but he's also played extremely high minutes here, 34 plus in every single playoff game so far. He gives really at least 32 minutes. He's over in 21 out of 24 games this year. And you can see he has, of course, just been extremely, extremely good when seeing these minutes. You can even go to games from last year if you wanted to, over in 73% when he had at least 32 minutes. This is overall just way too low of a line. I think a nice little entry to get a better payout over on PrizePicks. But of course, you could have played this one all the way up to about 25.5 or even like 22.5. You know, whatever you want to take over on PrizePicks. Like, I still like the over 23.5 on PrizePicks, which is just a better payout goblin. But I did personally play the over 19.5 points on the PrizePicks board for Kawhi. Overall, just way too low of a line. I think a nice little boost to your entry on PrizePicks. But for the third play, I'm going to head over to the MLB. Again, if you guys want a third play tomorrow, be sure to leave a like on this video here. 175 likes, and I drop a third play tomorrow also. But I like Zack Wheeler tonight over 37.5 pitcher fantasy score. However, if you have Underdog Fantasy available, his 37.5 on Underdog is actually a little bit better than it is on PrizePicks, mainly due to their scoring and their payouts for the quality start / the win. I think both spots are good for Zack Wheeler, but there is just a very, very slight difference where I think that Underdog is the better place to play him over his fantasy points, but I am okay with the PrizePicks over 37.5. Just, if you want to, you could play a little bit lighter. But Zack Wheeler is always in 4 out of 6 games this year and has a beautiful matchup now against the Washington Nationals. The Phillies are pretty big favorites in this game. But in games where they win this year, he has been over this in all 3 games with 44, 58, and 64 fantasy score. I don't think it's going to go super crazy with like 58 or 64 this time around because I don't expect a whole lot of strikeouts from him. But he has already covered this against Washington in the past with 44 fantasy score. Over on Underdog Fantasy, the score is a little bit different, as you can see here. Like in wins this year, he's had 43, 58, and 64. Last year, though, he was over in 84% of wins over on PrizePicks. By the way, this is the PrizePicks here, not Underdog. The first one is looking at Underdog. This one is PrizePicks. So you can see he actually had 1 less fantasy point here, which is actually a big difference. Because if he had 2 strikeouts less in this Washington game the first time around, he would have missed while still cashing over an Underdog. And to further my point why it's better to play this one on Underdog is that he was over in 84% of games last year on PrizePicks when they won. And last year, he was actually over this in about 17 out of 19, which is about 89% of wins last year on the Underdog at 37.5. So the fantasy scores are a little bit different, as you can see there. Overall, though, I do think Underdog is the better place to play, but of course, I think both spots are pretty good. In the patch against Washington, he's covered this in 4 straight games, no matter which app you are playing this one on, with 44, 43, 50, and 43. The 43, of course, coming from this year. But like I said, what I love, though, is that he's going to be in a game where the Phillies are favored, which is really, very good for his pitcher win. If he gets the win, that's +6 on PrizePicks, +5 over on Underdog. You also, of course, can have him go 18 outs, which I'm expecting for the quality start. So he's giving up 3 or less earned runs, +5 over on Underdog, +4 over on PrizePicks. You also have him being favored here under 2.5 earned runs and just being slightly favored on the over 1.5 earned runs over on Sportsbook. So it's a really, really good spot, I think, for Zack Wheeler here, considering he's expected to give up 2 or less earned runs. And also the Phillies are favored, which is good for his quality start, of course, his outs. And just overall, I think he's in a great spot for his fantasy score tonight. This follows my pitcher fantasy score system, which we are 6-1 on so far this year. So I I think he's in a great spot. But we're not done with the free plays yet. A couple reminders here. Don't miss out on joining the DubClub. Join 3 days for free, available in my description. Get all of my plays sent straight to your phone as soon as I lock them in, essentially. You have access to all my plays, which are extremely profitable this year, as well as my Discord to talk to me and other members. You have access to my correlation slips, which we have cashed out on so far this year, as well as getting plays from my contributors here in Asmi's email, props, and elo. Also, if you want to research plays like I do, this tool here is called Outlier. Get this tool for yourself in my description and make sure to use the link. By using that link, I think you should get a free trial, but also you can sign up for the pro version, which is extremely good in my opinion. I absolutely love the pro version. Gives you access to plus EV, gives you arbitrage and middle bets, as you can see here. It's a really awesome tool. Get it for yourself in my description. So use the link in my description for Outlier. But here's some more free plays from the Daily Grind tool. This year, you can show off the best bet value plays on an app like PrizePicks or Underdog. Right now on PrizePicks, they love some League of Legends plays, some CSGO value plays, as well as some NBA value here also. Of course, they do also have like MLB on the board too, just a ton more NBA and things like that. But it's also super easy to find a entry if you are clicking on plus V plays. You can filter it down to 2-pick power play or same with a 5-pick or 6-pick flex, which can help you find plays that fit into that play type in terms of expected value. They also have another tool sold separately called the ASM Generator. This tool is over 2,000 units of profit since last year, and there are 20 slips currently on the board for apps like PrizePicks or Underdog. Right now on PrizePicks, they love this 4-pick power play, which contains value on CSGO and League of Legends. Has a profit margin right now of about 26.01%. If you click on Bet on PrizePicks, it puts it into PrizePicks for you just like that. It's an awesome tool. Get it for yourself in my description. Use the first link there, the fantasy bundle, and scroll down. Go ahead and use promo code DOMG if you want the first tool I talked about here. If you want the second tool I talked about, go ahead and click on the slip generator this time, and then scroll down and be sure to use promo code DOMG. But thank you for watching. I'll see you hopefully in the next video. Best of luck. If you want to make over $5,000 profit on PrizePicks, you can watch this video on your screen right now.